Right, today I'm looking at She's Electric by Oasis. This is a song I used to teach all the time when it first came out. It's a really good chord sequence in this song. Not too difficult, you've got to be able to play bar chords. There's a couple of bar chords in it, but it's not too hard. So we'll get started on the intro. Right, so the intro starts with two very unusual chords. And if you know a standard E-shaped bar chord, like this, what we've got to do is play that shape at the 2nd fret, but don't actually bar. So you're lifting the 1st finger up, so it's only on the E string. So we've got 2nd there, 4th fret there, 4th fret there, 3rd fret there, and then the first 2 strings are open. I'll just play through each of these strings so you can hear what we're doing. And that chord is it's kind of an F sharp 7 add 11. It's a bit of an unusual one. And we need to use that chord, but also the same chord moved back a fret, exactly the same shape. Now, if you want the names of these, that's another weird one. That's probably a F major 7 sharp 11. That sounds like this. So you've still got those 2 open strings. And that one really is a passing chord, which means it's very quick and it's not there for very long. So it starts on this first one, the F sharp, and then just before going to the main chord sequence of the song, moves back to that one. So I'll just play those 2 for you in the rhythm so you can see how it works. There's a bit of kind of picking going on with this first chord. I'll sort of hint at that, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just, basically strum it. That sounds funny stopping there, but that's just the first 2 chords, and it leads into something else. Now the part it leads into is the main chord sequence for the verse of the song, but this is still part of the intro at the moment. So we've got an E, standard E major chord, played like that, you probably know that one. So it's open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. Then we've got a G sharp bar chord. Now that's the E shape again, here, with different fingers and then barring. Because it's a bit like putting a capo at 4th fret and playing an E chord. So that's 4, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4. The next one is a C sharp minor 7. And to get this chord, what you do is take the little finger away, move the others all down 1 string like this. And when I say down, I mean literally down towards the ground like this. So this is a 5-string bar chord. So we're not using the E string. We've got 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. Now a lot of people will play this just as a minor, which is that. But if you listen carefully on the song, he's playing a minor 7. And it sounds a bit more like it if you do that one. So we've got E, G sharp, C sharp, minor 7. And the next chord is just an A major. Now what most people would do, and this is what I first did when I worked this song out, is go to an A bar chord, because you're right there. But Noel Gallagher doesn't do that. He goes down to an open A chord, just a normal A, like this, which is nothing on the 6th string. We're not playing that. And then we've got open 5th, and then 2, 2, 2, open. So those 4 chords sound like this. And the rhythm is 2 basic strums. When I say basic strums, I mean it's 2 main beats and you're just playing 2 downs. But if you get like an up in the middle of them or any extra little noises, it's not going to matter when the song's sort of in full flow. But the main thing you want is 2 beats, 2 downs. On the E, G sharp, C sharp minor 7. And then on the A, you want to play down, up, down, up. Like that. So I'll just put all of that together slowly. And on the E, the G sharp and the C sharp minor 7, if possible, this is difficult on the E, but on the other 2 it's a bit easier. what you want to try to do is relax the fingers just after you've played each strum, so you get this effect. And that's the left hand relaxing. Now when you do that on the E chord, it works for these 3 strings, but the other 3 are open, so they're still going to ring. So it's like this. And this one we don't need to do that. So I'll just put all of that together up to speed. Okay, and that's 3 times as I just did then. And then we've just got a normal C, D and E chord sequence. So these are just open chords, you probably know them. C, D, and E. And it's just not we're not doing the relaxing fingers thing here, we're just playing them normally. 2 beats on the C, 2 on the D, 4 on the E. Something like that. So I'll just put that whole sequence together for the whole intro quite slowly. Oh, by the way, on the first chord, I said about the little picking thing. If you did want to do that, it's something like this. It's not exactly that, because he's kind of strumming as well, but it could even be 2 guitar parts, actually, one strumming and one doing the picking. But if you wanted to try to follow that, that's roughly what's happening. And then you go into the strum for the last part. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate the whole intro slowly. So the verse sequence is just like the intro, but apart from the first 2 chords. So we don't do those 2. So it's E, G sharp, C sharp minus 7, A, 3 times, C, D, E. And then that all repeats. So I'll just do that for you. That's the verse. So we get to the chorus, and the chorus has got some really nice chord shapes in, quite unusual chords. It's basically variations on A and A major 7, but instead of playing standard chords, what he does is he plays a thing called an A add 9 and then an A major 9, but very specific shapes for these. So I'll just show you what they are. So for the A add 9, you need a second finger on the 3rd string at 6th fret, and 3rd finger on the 4th string at 7th fret, and you play 5 strings, so it should sound like this. Now this is strummed, it's something like this. Down, 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 up, roughly that. So that's the A add 9. Now the A major 9, you take the 3rd finger away, keep the 2nd finger on, and put 1st finger there. So that's 4th string, 6th fret. So really it's just the 4th string notes moved back one. So now we've got this. So if I play those one after the other, it sounds like this. And then something interesting happens involving the bass on this part. The guitar plays that 3 times, but the bass on the 3rd one, the bass is just playing an A, which you'd expect for both of those chords. On the 3rd of those sequences. For the first chord, the bass still plays the A, but when it goes to the second chord, instead of staying on the A, the bass, I'm talking about the bass guitar here, so not the actual guitarist, the bass player goes to a C sharp, which is this note. But it really affects the sound of the chord, and even though I don't think the guitarist is changing, I don't think Noel Gallagher's changing his part, but it sounds better, if you're playing the song on your own, it sounds better to include that bass note. So what that means is, instead of doing this, on the third one we go, and then we still want these two notes, but with that bass note, so we go. So now I've got nothing on the E string, and then I've got 4, 6, 6, open, open. So that's instead of this. Sounds quite different. I think it is just the bass doing it, but you'll hear, if I demonstrate it, you'll really hear it sounds more like the song if I do that. And that's on the third one, like this. And then we go to an E7 for 2 bars. E7 is just that, you probably know that one. Then we go back to that first sequence again, 3 times again with the bass note if you can do it, and then E7 again, but this time we stay on the E7 for a bit longer. Then we go to another unusual chord. This one is a variation on F sharp minor. So what you've got to do, if you think there's an F sharp minor bar chord there, we want to have these 2 notes from the chord, from the bar chord. So that's 4 on the 5th string, 4 on the 4th string. Instead of barring though, we just want 1 finger there. So that's 2nd fret on the 3rd string, that's an A. First 2 strings need to be open. And if possible, this is a bit awkward, but see if you can get your thumb to play the F sharp bass note there. Again, this is probably something that the guitar didn't do, it's probably just the bass player hitting the F sharp, but if you're playing the song on your own, that makes it sound better. It depends on the guitar neck that you're using and your thumb, you might not be able to get that and keep these 2 open. So if you can't, then don't worry about that one. Just play this, but make sure you don't hit this string. That's 2 bars. With the bass note. And then a normal B7 chord, which is this, you might know this. So that's little finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then this one sort of goes there, so that's 4th string, 1st fret. Don't play the E string. So that's 2 bars as well. So I'll just demonstrate the whole chorus for you, and I'll do the thing with the extra bass note on the C sharp bass note, just because I think it sounds good. Okay, and that's the chorus. Right, so after the first chorus, there's a solo verse. So it's exactly the same chords as the verse, exactly the same as what we did before, but there's a guitar solo instead of the vocal. I'll look at the guitar solo on a separate lesson video. Okay, I'll probably put a link in the description for that. So yeah, just an instrumental verse, exactly the same as before. Then after that we repeat the verse, this time with the vocals, so it's just a normal verse again. So for the rhythm guitar you're just playing 2 verses there, because you've got the solo one and then a normal one. Then a chorus, exactly the same as before. But at the end of the chorus, instead of going back into the verse sequence, we go to an end section. Right, the end section is probably the easiest part of the song. It's really good. It's got a really cool kind of Beatley sort of ending to the song. But it's pretty easy. Just need 3 chords, C, D and E. All open chords. C, D, E. And what happens is we play C for 2 beats, a half a bar, D for half a bar, 2 beats, E for 4 beats. We do that 7 times. And then on the 8th time, you stay on the C for a whole bar and the D for a whole bar, and then just a single strum on the E at the end. Okay, that's the whole song. All of the chords for She's Electric. Look out for the solo lesson video that I'll do next. And yeah, any questions, put them in the comments as always. Suggest any other songs you'd like to see lessons on, and click like if you haven't already, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, thanks.